Regardless of the newest limitation of iOS 14 and Facebook versus Apple, Instagram and Facebook ads are still one of the most powerful ways that you can generate customers for yourself or for your customers. So I guarantee you that by going through this free video right here on YouTube, it's gonna save you thousands of dollars that you would have spent on courses and workshop, and you probably wouldn't get the information that I'm sharing with you in here. So if you stick around until the end, you'll see a couple tricks that I guarantee you your favorite guru is not teaching to you. So let's get going. All right, so first things first, in order to start running Facebook ads, you do need a Facebook page, right? And I'm not gonna walk you through the process of creating a Facebook page now, because if you're interested in Facebook ads, you most likely know how to create a Facebook page. However, if you are in your Facebook profile, you just come here. So I'm on a desktop now. You can do this from your mobile app as well. Come here to the left, it says your pages, and you're just gonna hit create new page. So with that being said, we're not gonna cover any more details about creating the Facebook page itself. Before we dive into the actual stuff of creating a Facebook ad and the business side of things, and also pixels and audiences and things like that, I wanna point out one thing that it's crucial, and this will almost guarantee the success of your future Facebook and Instagram ads. The reason that I say this is what you see here on the screen. It's the Facebook ad library from all the advertisers in the entire world. So let me repeat that. Every single competitor of yours, every single influencer, every single business, every single brand has their ad library pretty much public. And in a way, I almost think this is illegal, but us, the people that want to run Facebook ads and Instagram ads, we have this huge advantage. So for example, if I go here and type in Coca-Cola, right, I can scroll down and I can, like you can see, this is the official page of Coca-Cola, 105 million likes. So I can click on this and I can literally click all ads, and I can see all the ads that Coca-Cola is running. So let's go into the entire world, right? So we can see, and to be honest, it's not that many now that I'm looking at it, right? So you can see in here, Finland, Denmark, Norway, Belgium, right? All of these pages of Coca-Cola brand in all of these countries, I can literally click on them and see the ads from that country if they run into. So if you see right here, Finland, it seems that it doesn't have any ads. So this one started running in United States on January 4th. So as a rule of thumb, what I like to do is I always like to look for at least 2 to 3 months activity on the ad, on one ad that I want to replicate. I'm not talking about copying the ads, don't get me wrong. I'm talking about you guys get inspired by your competitors. And I'm not saying that Coca-Cola is your competitor, but you'll see in a second what I'm talking about here. So this one, it's been running since December 30th and so on and so forth. So for example, let's assume you are a software company and a landing page software company. So ClickFunnels, for example, right? You can see all their ads. So if you are a software company, you probably want to know what $100 million company does on related to Facebook ads. So for example, these are the ads that ClickFunnels run, and you can literally see the dates, right? So you look at all of these. I mean, it's crazy if you think about it, right? This one has been running since December 4th, and you can go, you can go down and see more of these, and you can see ClickFunnels has a ton. I mean, they are a $100 million company, so I can imagine running a ton of split testing and a ton of different creatives and things like that, right? Like this, we scrolled so much and we're only at December 1st, right? So you get what I mean, right? Like for example, you can go and see what Google runs on what Facebook ads are run from the Google Facebook page, right? If you think about it, Google runs ads on Facebook, right? But let's assume you are an influencer and you want to see what Gary Vaynerchuk is running on Facebook and Instagram. So it seems that Gary doesn't do too much now. But this ad, it's been running since 2018. So it's probably, it was probably a good ad. Unfortunately, we're not able to see it anymore. But let's assume we go to Lewis House, right? Like we go to Lewis House and see what ads Lewis House is running, right? 3 secrets to unlock the full power of your mind, right? 7 steps to build a side hustle, right? All of these ads. So see this one. This is actually one that I would probably replicate because my niche is, build a side hustle, make money online, and all that, right? So we'll dive into how you create the ads, but the point of this, of me showing you this, is the fact that you can actually click on the ad, right? Like you click on the actual ad, you see the copy, like you see what it says in the ad, you see the photo, you see what the button says, you can click on it and see how the page looks like, right? I mean, think about it. I mean, this is the best that you can ever get because you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Like you have all of these at your fingertips. Like you don't need to do anything else, right? So again, the way that you get to this place is you go to facebook.com/ads/library and make sure in here you don't just let issues, elections, and politics. You click on search all, and then you put the person's name in here, and that's pretty much it, right? Okay, so let's exit this. And now the first step that you need to do in order to start running Facebook ads is you have to create a business manager. So the way to do that is you go to business.facebook.com, and if you're doing this for the first time, you're gonna be able to see this button clickable, see what it says, create business. I already reached my business account limit. However, some of these were just testing, so I can delete them. But you can just create business, and you will basically create the actual business manager account where you will run all the ads from. So you wouldn't be able to do this if you want to start running Facebook or Instagram ads the right way. So you have to run them from the Facebook ad manager platform. All right. So first things first, you go to business.facebook.com, you create one of this, and as soon as you're done, you're going to go into business settings. So the reason that you want to go here, you first need to claim a few things, a few assets that are part of your Facebook ad. So first things first, you have to go to pages, and you have to either add a page if you own it. So for example, if I created the page myself right here, and then I go here and click pages, I would go add a page because it's my page, and if I would add it, it would be automatically accepted. If you don't own the page, if it's a client of yours and you just start running ads or start posting for them for the first time, you're gonna have to request access to a page. And if you don't have a page, and if you don't request access to a client page or things like that, then you're gonna have to create a new page from scratch. So essentially, it's the same thing that you created right here. Or if you do it here, I just like to do it all in order, right? Like to be able to keep things properly line up. So keep that in mind. Once you requested access or you add your own page in here, you're gonna have to go to add accounts, and you're gonna have to either add an ad account if it's one ad account that you created in the past. If you've never created one, then you're gonna go right here on the bottom where it says create a new ad account. Or if it's a client of yours and they already have an ad account, meaning they've been running ads previously, then you're gonna request access to an ad account, right? So if you already have an ad account prior, you're gonna add a new account. If you create a new ad account, you're going to create a new ad account right here on the bottom, all right? So keep that in mind. Now, let's move on to the actual to the actual stuff that's happening behind the scenes, right? So I'm in my wife's ad account. She runs a beauty brand in the eyelashes niche. So first things first, I want to explain a couple different things that are happening in here. So essentially, everything will get started in the campaigns, right? So we have campaigns, we have ad sets, meaning all the audiences and pretty much the people that you run ads against, I shouldn't say against, towards. And then you have the ads, the creative, the copywriting, the photos that you add, the videos that you add to the ads, and all that good stuff. So we have campaigns, ad sets, and ads, all right? So this button here, right, like when you hit create, it's going to ask you who you want to run, or what type of campaign objective you have, not who you want to run. Who you want to run is the ad set. So we're gonna kind of go through all of them in just a moment, but keep in mind that after we going through all of this, I'm gonna come back to ad sets because it's important to understand that when you start a campaign objective, right, like these are one of the most important things that you'll have to learn throughout this training. However, it's also important to remember that all of these objectives could be run to several different audiences, and these could be audiences that you already own or control, or these could be audiences that are completely cold. So let's go from left to right. So what you see here, awareness, brand awareness or reach, essentially if you want to run one post, so I'm going to give you an example from my wife's business. Like she's just remodeling a new salon right now, right, in the Boston area. So if she wants to just do a post saying that she launches a giveaway, for example, right, like she just launches a giveaway where she gives away, I don't know, a free set of eyelash extensions, and she does a brand awareness ad. So she posts the image with the salon and a couple, some phrases, some text in the description of the post, and then she publishes the post on the page, but she doesn't put a call to action to it. She can run a brand awareness ad with that post, and then she's just targeting the people, probably like a couple miles around the salon's address, right? Same thing applies with reach. If she would want to get more phone calls for the salon, so she would do something like the phone number in there, and then she would run a reach ad. Other than that, it's almost never that I run brand awareness ads or reach ads. The reason for that is my favorite out of all of them, if you don't want to do a conversion ad, so conversion is mainly for leads, but if you want to do a brand awareness and you have a video, you're better off doing a video view ad. And I'll explain why when we get there. So that's with awareness. It's pretty much going to the masses. You wouldn't use probably any kind of targeting. You'll just do brand awareness and you'll just blast, $10, $20 a day for like a month or something like that. And you'll just do awareness around the salon and things like that. So that's pretty much it. Other than that, I would almost never run a brand awareness ad. Getting into consideration. So traffic is essentially clicks. So you run an ad that has a campaign objective as traffic. That's what Facebook will optimize the ad for, meaning to get a ton of clicks. Engagement is to get a bunch of likes, comments, or shares to a post. So ideally, the way that I would run this is if I post something on a Facebook page and it gets some sort of engagement, or is getting better engagement than the rest of the post on the page, I would do an engagement ad. Why? Because it seems that post just performs well on the warm audience and people that like the page. Then might as well, let's just boost it to a wider audience to see if they respond the same. App installs, I think I only did one time for an app. Other than that, I usually don't mess around with app installs. It's just not my specialty. Video views, one of the best ways to get exposure. So again, if you want brand awareness, video views is actually the best way to get brand awareness, because you can get video views as cheap as a cent per view. Therefore, there's no other platform that can get you. Well, YouTube actually gets you with discovery ads similar results. But on the Facebook platform, this is the best way to get brand awareness. Lead generation is where Facebook allows you to create a form within Facebook, so you don't have to send people to an actual landing page. It just happens right here on Facebook. So typically I see the lead generation ads getting a little more expensive even than the conversion ads. So I would almost say, unless you run like a local workshop, right? Like for example, next month my wife will run like a small, I think a 10 people workshop in her salon. Therefore, a lead generation ad could make sense, because the upsell for that is a $2,000 program. Therefore, even if she pays like $50 per lead, it's still decent, because the ROI is pretty high. Messages is when you do ManyChat type of ads. So you do a Facebook ad that will have people, instead of clicking on something or liking or converting on a page, they have the call to action as send message. So that send message basically will just land that customer or that person that tries to communicate with the page right into the Facebook page's inbox. So this is actually super powerful. To date, this objective messages is the #1 lead generation method for this ad account, for this beauty page. Moving on to conversions. So conversions is the one that you'll pretty much do most of the times if you're trying to get leads. So if you're getting, brand awareness, you do video views. If you want to, if you have a virtual assistant that manages the page, then you can do messages. Or if you have a JSON ad inside of ManyChat, then this one is super powerful, but it's just a little more complex to set up. Conversions is the one that you'll probably run the most, because that's when Facebook really optimizing for people that will more likely to become leads. Catalog sales is essentially have to do with the e-commerce side of Facebook shops. So Facebook shops, catalog sales and store traffic, you either have a Shopify account integrated with your Facebook page, or if you have a Facebook shop, then it's the same thing. Catalog sales obviously has to do with sales, so it's more of a conversion style for e-commerce. Store traffic, it's more, this one here, traffic for, let's say, the homepage of your shop or homepage of your Shopify account, things like that. All right. So just to make things a little bit simple for the purpose of this training, we're going to go with traffic now, just so we don't have to create a conversion right now. But so let's assume we hit traffic. So now we get to the ad set part. Remember that I said at first you're gonna choose the objective, and then second you have to choose the audience. Where will you start running ads towards? So if this is your first time doing it, I would say don't start with more than $10 or $20 a day, because you want to see how things happen on the platform. What are the things that you can mess around with? What are the options and things like that? So you want to make sure that everything that's happening inside of the ad set, you have an idea about who's the audience, if you want to do some split testing and things like that. But most importantly is you want to see who will you run the ads towards. All right, so once you hit next, you're gonna come to this page, and this is where we're gonna actually talk about the audience. So first things first, you want to remember, location is the most important thing, especially if you run ads for a local business. Like if you're trying to do the SMMA thing, like social media marketing, or if you're a freelancer and you start doing this for the first time, or if you're doing it for your own business, location is one of the most important things, because at first, Facebook by default will put United States as location. But if I want to just run this in Boston, here's a couple really important things. So Boston, it says, 25 miles around it. Like, do I want to run, 20 miles around the city? So when I do a campaign with my wife's salon, for example, oftentimes I may do just the current city only, right? So like, you get the point in here. A lot of times, people travel to her anywhere from 3 to 10 miles top, right? But if I want to do something really, really specific in that town, I would go just with the city only. And you'll be able to see what's the potential reach here as soon as you do the targeting. So for example, right, like she would target only women, right? So you can see potential reach 850,000. And if I go here, my wife's ideal customer is someone between 30 to usually around 50 years old, right? I would change this one to woman. Now, all of a sudden, out of 850, potential reach came down to 190,000 people. Now, if I go here into detailed targeting and I hit edit, let's say if I hit salon, let's see, beauty salon. So people that are interested, let's see, what is it? People who have expressed an interest in or like pages related to beauty salons, right? So if I click this one, all of a sudden it went down to 79,000. Now, a few other things that you can do is you can still add more interest and behaviors, or you can narrow it down to less people. Like for example, let's assume I do buyers. No, I think it's online purchaser. I think it's the actual purchase behavior, engaged shoppers. So all of a sudden, I have people, women between 30 and 50 years old, they are interested in beauty salons and they are engaged shoppers, right? So, at the end of the day, you don't want to have a huge audience that you want to serve your ads towards. You want to actually really think who's the ideal customer that you want to reach. Now, of course, this can really differ if you have an e-commerce product, right? Especially if you have an e-commerce product, engaged shoppers is your best friend, right? Like, think about it. For this particular case, when we talk about a beauty salon, right, like we would first test this for like a week or maybe 2-3 days, depending how much we want to spend. And especially for the launch now, we're probably going to spend anywhere from $100 to like $150 per day for a matter of a week just to announce the launch of the new salon, right? To generate some buzz around it. But you get the point in here. Now you can mess with languages and things like that. We usually don't. For this one, if you do a webinar, for example, obviously you want to really make sure you pay attention to what's going on for languages and things like that. So that's it for now in here in the ad set level. I'm going to hit next. And of course, it's going to ask me for what's the website URL. Now, as you can see in here, I got identity. So identity means we are also running ads from the Facebook page plus from the Instagram account. So if you're wondering how do you do that, right here in the business settings, you see that you have an option here where it says Instagram accounts. So of course, you're gonna have to add, and you have Instagram as of right now in 2021, unfortunately, they don't have a way to assign a manager of the account. You literally have to have the user ID and the login ID and the password of the Instagram account. Like there's no way around it. Unfortunately, that's what it is. So you're gonna have to, if you're doing this for yourself, that's fine. If you're doing it for a client, keep that in mind. You're gonna have to ask for the login ID and password. All right, in order to run ads on both Facebook page and Instagram account. All right, the format essentially refers to the creative that you will run the ad with. So is it a single image? Is it a single video? You want to do a carousel? Carousel, it's like multiple photos, collection, similar thing, but 9.9 out of 10 times I'll do a single image or video. So we're not going to cover what the instant experience and playable source file are right now because it's a little more advanced. At first, you have to at least have this one dialed in. So remember, this is where we go to, let me shut this off. This is where we go to the beginning training where we search for Lewis house. And we did a little bit of ad hacking, sort of say, right? So let's assume this is an ad that we want to, we go to, so again, I'm not talking about you copying anything. As a matter of fact, you can go right here into your notes and paste the ad that you've identified on the ads library. You go right here and you copy. You can copy the actual. Let me see if I can. There you go. The reason that you do this is you want to identify what the button is and what the headline is. This way, you know exactly what you have to do. So for the purpose of this training, I'm not gonna spend, so let's assume we actually do this. I was about to say I'm not gonna do anything, actually I'm gonna have to do, because if not, I'm gonna get accused of copying. So let's assume we do this for a side hustle thing. So we do 5 steps to build a side hustle. If you remember, the button was download. So we come right here into download. I'm gonna have to put actually no. Let's do, I'm gonna come right here to ClickFunnels. I'm gonna copy just a random, this is my wife's webinar page. So, because this is her account. Actually, no, let's do 5 steps to grow a lash business. No, let's go inside and see what it says on the free training. Let's do something like this. Free lash training. Exclusive free lash training. And we'll do, instead of download, we'll do learn more or sign up. Let's see if it's sign up available. Sign up. If you have a video that you're gonna add in here, then you can do watch more. I usually do that. So as of right now, I'll do that. Let's copy the link in here as well. All right. So let's see what does it say on the primary text. So we're gonna go on the primary text and see. Let's see, what would you learn? So primary text, and then we got up here both Facebook and Instagram. In the description, we'll go and copy all of this. Usually, I would go and get some emojis, right? We're not going to spend time right now to get the emojis, but I usually like to have a check mark when you have, actually, no, let's do 1, 2, and 3. 3 6-figure lash business. No. Free case study reveals. Okay. Let's do this actually. And in the description, we'll do a testimonial. Right? And let's say if we want to add media, if we want to add an image, let's grab one that maybe we've used prior. I don't know if I can find it now. Let's see. Yeah, I can probably. No, not this one. This was the one that performed really well. Boom. All right. So as of right now, our ad is ready to go and we can hit publish. And pretty much that's what it was in terms of creating an ad from scratch. Now, keep in mind, a couple of things that we're gonna have to cover right now, because the ad set that we run this ad towards right now, it's pretty much a cold audience of women in the Boston area from 30 to 50 years old. They are interested in beauty salons and they're engaged shoppers. But another thing that you can actually do is you can come right here to data sources and you can hit this button that says create custom audience. And here's something really, really powerful. We can go from all website visitors. We can go for, so let's assume we go people who visit the specific web pages. So, oh, this was actually something else. Let's copy this URL. And then if we paste it, and we come into creating an audience of people that landed on this page, right? I can name it Lash Webby Clicks. So these are people that have landed on this page, but how do we know that they even got there? So if you come right here to this webinar and I hit edit page, and this is a landing page software, so I'm going to have to log in. And I click right here into tracking code. As you can see, I have the Facebook pixel installed on the page, right? So it's crucial to know, like the moment you come into the actual pixel of it, right? Like you're gonna have a button that says create pixel, and then you can test the actual event. Now, the same thing with creating a custom audience, you can create a lookalike audience. So the way that that works is, let's assume you already collected at least 1,000 leads. Then you can come to Facebook and you can actually update the list of people. Well, actually that one you do it with creating a custom audience, and you would update the actual audience with your email list. So you just upload it to Facebook, and then the moment you do that, they're gonna give you an option to create a lookalike, right? So a lookalike could be, take a look at this. So you can create an audience of people that are, let's assume we only want to do one, and we do, let's say 10% of people. Like, think about this. If you already have a list of people that have purchased your products they have purchased services from you, they have purchased, I don't know, anything from you, they swipe the credit card, even if it's just $2-3, that person raised their hand and they said, I'm a buyer, meaning I'm not just a lead, I'm an actual buyer. I have purchased from you. Therefore, the same person, when you add their name, email, phone number, and address, you upload it to Facebook, that's gonna tell Facebook, well, this person is actually way more qualified, and now let's look at their maybe previous data behavior based on their name, email, and phone number. Now Facebook will connect those data points with what they have in the system, and if that person has a Facebook account, now he's gonna be able to track a lot of information and a lot of interaction of that person based on the email list that you have. So that is super, super powerful, and you don't want to miss that out. So as you can see, this one is the pixel of this page. And every time, if we go back to, so let's go back to the ad. Let's go back to the ad set, for example. So let's assume you want to target different ad sets with the same ad. You come here into the ad set, you duplicate the ad set, and you call it, you just do one, for example. So let's assume we duplicate the ad set, but now we say we go after leads. So here's what's going to happen. When you scroll down, it's going to ask you to create a new audience, what we did before, or if we want to search for custom audiences that we previously did. So, so this is a workbook that my wife has sold. And as you can see, Lash book purchasers has a size of 2,100 people. So we're going to click on this one. And guess what? Now we're going to run the ad with that webinar just against these purchasers. So it's super, super powerful to have the option to control who do you send the ads towards. All right. So guys, let me know in the comments if this training was valuable and if you've learned something new. I guarantee you that a lot of the information that I shared with you in here, a lot of people are charging thousands of dollars to share this with you. So if you like this video, don't go anywhere, because in the next video coming up, I'm showing you exactly step by step how to create a Facebook pixel and pretty much everything around the Facebook pixel that you can learn. So don't go anywhere. I'll see you in the next video.